Hi, everybody. It's time for the I Just Want to Understand podcast. I'm your host, Phil Hawkins, and we talk about all kinds of different stuff here, so sit back and let's get to it. Today's episode is going to be kind of on a weird subject. It's on the subject of a radio station, and there's somewhat of a story behind how this all came to be. There's a radio station in Needles, California, of all places, that is one of the strangest I have ever heard in my life. Now, a little bit of backstory. I have 17 years in the radio business. I've worked in markets like Atlanta and Tampa and Chicago, St. Louis, and so on. Here I am driving down the road, and I'm just casually listening, and I hear this radio station called KTOX, and I see the sign on the side of the road, first of all. And it says KTOX, and I see an antenna sitting there, 1340. So I said, well, let's see what they're doing.
KTOX and K281CR Needles.
If you are just turning on your radios,
This is KTOX.
to bring you up to date on the news.
And I turn it on, and there is just stuff on the air I've never heard before, ever, in 20 years of being in the industry, okay? But it was entertaining. I mean, it was unbelievable. Nobody was...
We were loose cannons.
Yeah. And so I just couldn't stop listening. And the man whose show I was listening to is Michael. Michael Hagwood runs the afternoon drive-by. The show runs Monday through Friday, and it's a talk show about whatever you want to talk about. So I guess, okay, how is KTOX weird? It's weird in that you can say whatever you want.
Hello, you're on the air.
Yeah, Chef from Needles.
All right, what's on your mind?
You got this group of family members. I'm not going to name their names. Apparently, the family members have 8 and 9-inch penises, and the women seem to love their penises. So these guys are going around screwing all the different women. And this one guy of this family member screwed my next door neighbor and then broke up with her. And she was in love with him so much, she came over to his apartment and he shot her.
Oh, hold on. Did you actually get a tape measure and measure?
No, I did not. I'm hearing this from hearsay.
Okay.
This is all hearsay. I'm not a physical witness.
Mm-hmm.
All the women seem to beg to have sex with him is they've all got 8 and 9-inch sticks.
All right.
And I cannot figure that.
Well, you can't verify that either.
There are 7 words that the FCC designates that you not say on the air. As long as you stay away from those 7 words, and I think we all know what they are, if we stay away from those 7 words, you can say whatever you want. Am I incorrect, Michael?
You are not incorrect, but this is going to be on a podcast, correct?
Correct.
So I can say them right now if I want to.
You can say them right now if you want to,
but
our policy is not to.
Well, I'm not going to.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
I don't want to disrespect your podcast.
I appreciate that. So tell us how you got here.
Well, I moved to this area from Orange County, California in the year 2000. Before I left, I had gone to Huntington Beach Broadcast School, and because since I was a little kid, I wanted to be in radio, and never really did anything about it until then. Then I came out here to get away from the city, and I started looking around for stations because I like especially talk radio, and I found this one, KTOX. Saw a sign across the river in Arizona. I saw the sign. So I checked it out, and it was the way you described it then, as much, but it was very interesting. So I've been loosely involved with this station since 2002. I first started out writing for the station, and eventually I became sales, started selling advertising.
Right.
And then the previous owner didn't want to put me on the air, okay? So I just kept selling, and then he sold the station to the current owner, Steve Rubin, Rubin Broadcasting.
Right.
He says, you want to be on the air? Hell yeah, I'll put you on the air. So he put me on the air, and that was about 10 years ago. And it was rough to start. I mean, anybody that's been in radio, I don't care who you are, when you first go on the air, it's not super smooth. unless you're people like you.
It's intimidating.
Yeah, but it didn't take me long, and I consider myself sort of a comedian.
Okay.
And I'm a good writer, and it just started clicking. And I've been doing this now for 10 years. And this station first came on the air in 1952.
Right.
In Needles.
Right.
And so it's been around a long time, but I really enjoy it. And you're right. I mean, this is the only station I've ever worked at, so I don't know if this is unique, but I don't know any better. This is what I've always done.
Basically the situation was, hey, can I go on the air? Yeah. There's the mic. Have fun.
That's right. That's what basically it's what he said.
And so you sat down going, now what? What's this knob for? What's that switch for?
Well, at first, I had to learn to board op.
Right.
First.
Right.
Because we don't have board ops. So
right.
So I did that, and that really wasn't a problem. It's pretty simple. But at first it was they only gave me 1 hour.
Okay.
In the afternoon, which easier to do.
Okay.
Then
when you're first starting out, that sounds reasonable.
That's probably that was a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it went to 2 hours, and then it went to 3 hours. I had my daughter working with me for about 3 years, and this is a political show, by the way, and it worked out well. I don't know if you ever heard her, but she's the opposite of me politically, and it worked out really well.
Okay.
I just gradually got more confident, and this is where we are today. And I very appreciative to Mr. Rubin, and I'm also pretty good at spotting talent. I've hired a bunch of people here.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, and I think maybe my best asset is interviewing people. I think that's probably. I don't get intimidated by anybody. I'll interview Trump. I don't care.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I'm never going to, but I would do it.
I would love to hear that.
Yeah, and I would ask him questions that probably Hannity doesn't ask him.
Yeah.
So that's basically how.
You have to be careful with the president of the United States, though. I mean, you got to.
Well, no, I wouldn't. Call him a dumbass or anything, but
hit below the belt.
Yeah. But I'm just saying that nobody would intimidate me as far as interviewing.
So you've been doing your show as it exists today for how long?
3 hours. You mean 3 hours, 5 days a week?
Yeah.
6 years.
Okay. The premise of it is to let the listener say whatever he wants. And I've noticed that you let listeners go on for 5, 6, 7 minutes to finish explaining their point of view.
That's if I think it's interesting.
Right.
Yeah,
but even, you talk to the big stations, up in Vegas even, Los Angeles, San Francisco. Hello? Well, I think this. Well, thank you very much. See you later.
Yeah, and
it's that quick.
One other thing is I don't have a call screener.
Right.
Which is
you've got the 7-second delay, which thank God for that.
Yeah.
But you don't have a call screener, and whoever is there is whoever gets on the air, and they can say whatever they want as long as it doesn't violate the 7 words of the FCC. And I'm telling you, Michael, there is no other radio station on planet Earth that does that.
Okay, I did institute one new rule this week.
Okay.
Which I think a caller called in and told me that this is a little annoying. So I thought about it and go, he's right. 1 call per day per caller.
I don't know about that.
You don't like that?
No, I don't know about that.
That's
one of the unique things about this station is that you can talk about anything you want, and then if the subject changes and you've got an opinion on that, you can call back and opine on that.
You know what? That's a good idea, but not more than 1 call on the same subject from the same person.
Right.
Yeah, and again, it depends. Like I have a few callers that are very entertaining.
Right.
One guy named Ed. And I think you're right. I shouldn't limit him to 1 call. Because
well, here's the other thing. And I don't think any other talk show in America can say this, is that the callers are as much a part of what you do as anything.
This is a caller-driven show.
It's a caller-driven show, but it isn't caller-driven from the standpoint of Bob, Pete, Nancy.
I don't have 1,000 people in line.
Exactly. It's a lot of the same people every single day.
Yeah.
And you kind of always know what their opinion's going to be.
Yeah.
Whether it's largely conservative or largely, left wing.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
It definitely is.
It's fun to talk to those people and try to figure out what
I
they're thinking.
have technical issues sometimes, which plays into that. Sometimes I have caller ID, right?
Uh-huh.
Sometimes it's not cooperating. It's not IDing. So people get through that I probably don't want to talk to, but
Right.
that's okay. It's just part of my show.
But you can get rid of them when you need to.
That's with not having a call screener. I mean, you always probably had a call screener
Right.
when you worked, right?
Right.
And they would pick off calls that like trolls or people they knew were just messing with you.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Right. They're easy to identify.
Yeah.
When right.
Yeah, but then again, it kind of adds to my show. Screaming at these people. So it is unique. I will give you that.
And trust me when I tell you, there is no other radio station on planet Earth like KTOX.
Well, then we've come up with a new format then.
Free form, pretty much.
Yeah.
And as you just said that, I'm trying to decide. Now, even with the educational stations like UNLV has a campus radio station.
Right.
And then they also might have what they call a community broadcast station. There's a name for it, and I can't remember what it is. But it's a classification of radio stations for educational institutions that are non-commercial and basically training. Okay.
Yeah.
And even within the realm of that manner of broadcast, which is free form, those guys play whatever music they want to play. They talk about whatever they want to talk about. But even within that constraining format, you exceed even that.
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
it is a matter of total and complete freedom.
Yes. Right. I would have to adjust if I went to another station.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way they would let me do those.
No, yeah, you would definitely have to adjust. And that's the thing is that on one hand, you're doing yourself a disservice by working in an environment in which there's no training, in which there's no ideas to bounce off other people because there's nobody else here.
Right.
There's no one here.
No.
And so, but on the other hand, you're allowed to develop your talent, you're allowed to develop your thought processes and to go into a direction with callers that no other talk show host gets to do. And to me, it's amazing that you exist at all, much less you're able to conduct yourself in a way that no other talk show host gets to do. And that's what amazed me about KTOX. That's what drew me in to start, number one, listening, and number two, calling in. When I called in, I was really, I won't say afraid, but I was really hesitant to call in a second time on the same day thinking they'd throw me off. So I called back and I said, hey, do you mind? I just want to add something to what I said before. And
I said no.
Well, you did not say no. You said yes. And that was what impressed me. And that hooked me.
Listen.
And so I'm a listener forever.
I have people from time to time that call in like they're passing through, especially truckers, and they go, are you for real? Is this a real radio station?
Yeah, I know. That's what I did.
Yeah, and I have people go, wow. He goes, this is great. I've never heard a station like this, which, hey, it makes me feel good. I mean, I like being different.
And the single greatest amazing thing. Now, most radio people will understand this, but people not in the radio industry will not quite probably get this, but it is equally amazing, and I have to profess a degree of jealousy, okay, that there's no general manager in this radio station running in every time you say something that he doesn't like,
right?
Telling you not to say that.
Yeah, I don't get called on the carpet.
Yeah, and don't talk about that subject.
Right.
Don't say that. The advertiser is going to get upset.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. You have no one.
I have no filter.
No filter whatsoever.
Which, like I said, we might be onto something.
Well, I love it. And to refresh people's memory, I told Michael, I said, you're letting listeners into the studio. How does that? I think it
wasn't Ed, was it?
It might have been Ed. I think it was one of the gals.
Lisa.
Lisa, that was it.
Lisa
was on the air.
Now I got her coming in. So.
Lisa was on the air.
Yeah.
I said, and I told you, and I live in Texas.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so it's not easy for me to get over here.
Yeah.
But you said, I said, well, how do I get on the air? How do I get in the studio? He said, well, you got to be here first of all. And I said, well, I'll be coming through town on such and such a date. And he says, well, stop in and you come on in and
put you on the air.
Put me on the air, and I just could not believe it. I about wet my pants.
So look,
and it was just so much fun.
Now we're talking about this being different, but it's basically you have podcasts now,
right,
where you can be yourself.
Right.
As far as radio goes, this is
it.
Yeah.
This is the top of the food chain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
And it's amazing that you've found a level of success in an industry that finds itself kind of circling the drain a little bit.
Is that true? That the radio
terrestrial radio is, especially AM, which makes it amazingly,
Yeah, they want to stop putting them in cars.
Yeah, exactly. But AM radio is falling by the wayside, and the industry and the industry groups, the NAB, don't want it to because it serves a purpose with emergency broadcast radio.
Yes.
FM is more entertainment, and so people who listen to radio listen to FM,
and it's stereo.
Right, in the stereo, and so FM is not going anywhere. But there is a real question about AM, and the fact that you've been able to find success on the AM band in a little town like Needles just blows me away. Just blows me away completely.
One thing about radio, do you think the live DJ will ever come back as far as music, spinning records? Of course, they don't spin records anymore.
Wow, what a question.
Because I missed that.
And I can think of a guy that I'd like to enter into this conversation. In other words, what is the future of the live DJ?
Yeah.
In music radio,
especially now with AI and all this,
especially
crap.
In music radio.
Yeah,
that depends on music radio. I mean, because the reason people don't listen to radio as much as they used to is because radio killed itself. Riders on the Storm by
so you were listening to 97 point.
I guess it was something like that. Yeah, it's
the classic rock station?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They played the 3.5-minute version of Riders on the Storm.
Yeah. They played the whole thing?
No. They didn't play the whole thing. They played the 3.5-minute edit version.
Oh, they played the radio.
Right. When the song first came out, it came out as what they called a radio edit.
Yeah.
3.5 minutes so that they would fit radio formats.
Yeah, a lot of songs were like that.
But the song on the album was 7.5 minutes long.
Back in the day, they would play whole songs.
On FM, college FM only.
So
on AM, it was very regulated to 3.5 and 3-minute song titles.
I can remember listening in the late 70s, KMET in Los Angeles, and I remember them playing like full Pink Floyd songs.
Yeah, KMET is a station that was formatted for long-form rock and roll.
Yes. So you've spun vinyl before, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So see, it went from vinyl, and when I went to broadcast school, it was carts.
You're right.
It was carts,
right.
But you still had to edit your own tape.
Well, we still had carts, but we also still had vinyl. Vinyl sounded better, okay?
Yeah, it does.
And it was not as expensive. And sometimes we just play the vinyl because we weren't sure it was going to be a hit, okay? So we just put the vinyl on there, and we play the vinyl, and we put 3 copies of the song in there so that we don't have what's known as, Q burn.
Yeah.
Okay. So when the Q burn came up, we just take the new version, put it in there, throw the old one away. We felt like we were better disc jockeys for doing it that way.
You had to, if you're playing a third cut on a album, you had to be pretty skilled at.
So it always evolves, but and I come right back to it. The thing that evolves in this industry is control of what goes over the air, and this place is unlike any other.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know any different, but I know. So this is the only place I've ever worked. So I'm spoiled.
On the one hand, you're spoiled, and I'm jealous. On the other hand, I wish, and I don't mean this in a pejorative, I don't mean this in a derogatory sense. It's just I wish that you had been able to work with other people in the industry that had different experiences and that you could learn from.
Oh, I mean, you know what? I might end up doing that. I was thinking about hiring you as my agent if I go somewhere else.
Well, I'll be glad to do that.
Yeah.
When did this station come on the air? When it came
1952.
on the air? 1952.
Yeah, it was KSFE. Santa Fe for the railroad.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a big railroad here.
Yeah, it was big time. That's when Route 66 ran through here,
Right.
And it was banging around here. And now, they bypassed that, so it just dried up Needles.
So Laughlin and Bullhead were not in existence at that time, right?
No.
Okay. So it was just Needles.
Yeah, Bullhead might have been an incorporated city, but there was nothing there. 1952, but Needles was probably. There was a lot going on in Needles because of the railroad.
Right.
Yeah, back then.
And so 1952 until when?
And then till 91, that's when it went to KTOX.
So the same guy owned it during all that time?
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah, and so that's 40 years, right? Almost.
Yeah. And he had this building.
Yeah, but it's been added on. I was told that originally it was where we're sitting here and the lobby, and that's it. There was nothing else.
No other production room? No.
No.
Wow. Okay, so he did add on to it.
Yeah, it's been added on too. I think the person I worked for originally, he bought the station in like 97. So there was someone from 91 to 97.
Okay.
And then he bought the station. Dave Hayes, and
then he sold it to Steve.
He sold it to Steve Rubin.
Okay.
And that's where we are today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's been, this station's been around longer than I've been alive. So that's a long time.
It's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Now Steve lives in San Jose.
San Jose. Do you know the way to San Jose, Phil?
I do, but it just blows me away. It just blows my mind. I mean, I was 17 years in big city radio. Not to toot my horn, but I mean, that's the difference between KTOX and what I'm used to.
Yeah.
And when I came here, in so many ways, I was like, oh my God, I've entered heaven. And in so many other ways, it's like, this is radio hell.
Yeah, you're right.
Because of the potential that this place has.
It could go either way at different times.
Yeah?
Yeah, you're right.
The changes that have occurred in the radio industry are up to the industry. The industry is a bunch of goats. They follow whoever's developed the latest format, whoever developed the latest technical geegaw, whatever it happens to be,
Yeah.
And they all follow each other. And from a corporate standpoint, from a programming standpoint, from local management, sales, they all follow each other because they're scared to be original. Okay, and so you have all these people that are, all these radio stations that are copying each other. They don't want to be original. They don't want to be the guy that said, yeah, when we changed formats, the ratings went down, and so you're at fault. Nobody wants to be that guy.
Yeah, you don't.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want to take a chance on that.
So until the industry pulls its head out of its rear end and realizes that it needs to follow its own voice, then
Well, you were just telling me about
it's just going to circle the drain.
this station, this broadcasting company that says we do what we want. We play what we want.
Well, it's a nationally sold FM format called Jack FM.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're all over the country, and so they play.
They play different genres of music all in one station.
Yeah. They play R&B with rock with everything else.
They play rap.
Very, very little. Very little.
How about scream metal?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So it's basically top 40.
Top 40, oldie top 40s.
Classic rock.
Right.
And some hard rock.
And they go from rhythm and blues to AC/DC to
Little River Band.
Yeah. Just like that. Just
Seals and Croft.
Just from one kind of song to another.
So they'll play Seals and Croft, and they'll play AC/DC.
Right. Exactly.
Which is very.
But
so do you think, like a station in L.A., if you put someone that talked the way I do, would it work?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, you've run yourself into a corner.
Well,
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, I say whatever pops into my head, and I don't follow any rules about hurting anybody's feelings. I mean, how would you describe?
Freeform. I mean, I don't know any other way to put it other than just freeform, and any subject that comes up is worthy of conversation. I mean, whether it comes up from the caller or from a guest or from yourself or from what's happening in the news, you're not afraid to talk about it.
And sometimes it gets a little raunchy.
That's a matter of taste, matter of
some people like it, some people don't.
Some people don't. Some people like it, some don't. Exactly. Yeah. And
you don't tell callers to go F themselves, right? Basically,
generally what happens is that the call screener screens that person out. Not a lot of times they're not successful, which is where the 7-second delay comes in.
That's always there.
So there's two filters through which the callers come.
Yeah.
Here, there's no filters. There's none. There's no call filter, and you do have the 7-second.
I got a 7-second delay.
But you're not going to activate it until it needs to be.
Right. I'm not. I let it go up until if they don't. The only thing I'll hit the button for is the F word and I guess the S word.
The
Sometimes
S word.
I miss it for that.
Yeah.
And like the other day, I said it out on the air, and Steve goes, "You can't say." I go, "I didn't know that." So can I say arsehole? He goes, "Yeah, but don't say that either." And you can say,
he does listen then.
Sometimes you can say ass. You can say don't make an ass of yourself.
Right.
But he doesn't want you to say kiss my ass.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because there are people out there, and trust me, I know. I got my ass in trouble in Chicago with this. Okay. There are people out there who do nothing all day but listen to the radio and go, he said blah, 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 and it was ended, and I'm offended.
Do they call the FCC?
Oh, yeah, I got fired.
That's the only way that, the FCC doesn't sit there with somebody listening to every station.
No.
They go by complaints.
Now, the other thing that happens is that your competition will rat you out.
Yeah, that's true too.
Your competition, they're sitting there all day long listening to your commercials, going, well, ABC Auto Repair is on Mike's show. Let's go over there and see if we can get them to change over to us. That happens a lot too.
Yeah. Oh, another word you can say. You can't say.
No.
I can say shite.
You can say shite. You just can't say the other word.
That's the British version.
Yeah.
And everybody knows what you're talking about.
Right.
So that's just
how it is.
Me.
You got to make your decisions based on the text of the law as it pertains to the FCC. That's all you got to care about.
So and there's another word, which is another word for a cat.
Okay.
And you can, if you use it when you're referring to an animal.
Right.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But if you're referring to a body part,
then you can't.
You can't say it.
Right. You shouldn't say it.
I'm not going to say you shouldn't say
it. You should not say it, not at all.
So you can call somebody that word. Hey, you're a...
It's just that you know what those 7 words are, and as long as you stand...
Well, that's not one of them.
Well, I understand, so which is why you can use them.
Yeah.
So you can take a bad word and turn it into a good word. Everybody knows what you're talking about, but you've met the letter of the law.
I don't understand the last one of the 7.
Which one is
Why is that bad? Tits.
That's not on there, I don't think.
George Carlin, it is with his. That's the last one.
Well, you understand George Carlin was in the 60s and 70s, don't you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All of that may have changed.
Well, no, the other 6 are still there.
Well, I'm sure they are. I'm just saying that in that weird case, then they may have made a different decision.
And it also comes down to the station owner and how he wants to project his station.
Right.
Like a lot of station owners would go, you can't work for me.
That is absolutely true.
Yeah.
That is absolutely true.
Uh-huh.
There's a station in Austin called KLBJ, and their talk.
Yeah.
They're on 7 something or other. And they have a huge signal, and they are as tightly formatted as I have ever seen any radio station. They'll come out of the news at the top of the hour and start talking about the plane wreck in Oshkosh.
Yeah.
Let's just say, okay. Then they'll go to a commercial break. Then they'll come back, and then they'll start talking about President Trump's election.
Yeah.
Then they'll come back after another commercial break, and they'll start talking about political malfeasance in City Hall.
So that's
And
four
they
different topics.
Right, and they want you to call in and make a comment about each of those subjects. And so when you do respond, they're off the road talking about something else, and you're trying to respond to the first thing they were talking about, and it's a train wreck.
And they
To listen to it, it's a train wreck. You know, every call is super short.
So they have a time limit?
Yeah, it's as if they have a time limit. It's as if they're afraid that the caller is going to be boring. But in your case, they're anything but boring.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the thing that I like about your show is you know how to handle people on the air.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know any other way to put it other than it's just the most unique radio station on planet Earth.
And if they're boring, I play a snoring soundtrack, which is, people like that.
Well, Michael, you're always trying to get people's goat, and you're always trying to get people riled up.
I am.
And I don't know.
That's my thing.
I don't know. So you're listening to this, and you're going to check Michael out. What are you going to hear? You're going to hear conservative, or you're going to hear left wing?
You're going to hear conservative, but you're not going to hear establishment conservative. You know, I might go off the.
Tell me the difference.
Okay, so I consider, for instance, Sean Hannity.
Okay.
As, he's very tightly controlled. He's conservative. He's certain things he's not going to say.
Right.
He's not going to criticize Israel.
Right. I understand what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's. There's no other conservative talk show you can really compare me to, I don't think.
No, there isn't.
I mean, podcasts, yeah, but radio shows.
Well, don't see that's apples to oranges.
Yeah.
Okay. Podcasts don't operate under the influence of the FCC.
No, they don't.
Nor the license to be present.
Yeah.
Okay. Radio stations do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they have an economic viability issue that podcasts don't have. Okay.
Yeah.
So as long as you got the deep pockets, you can be on podcast 24/7.
Oh yeah. You basically can say anything you want.
But terrestrial radio is a competitive, advertiser-driven medium.
Yeah.
And so you have to be successful. And if you're not, then you either sell or you lose money.
See, that's another thing.
Or whatever.
My brand of talk is not conducive to advertisers. I mean, even conservative business owners out here will say, I like your station, I like you, but I don't want to offend anybody.
Mm-hmm. And that is a recent development.
Yeah.
When, during the Biden administration, when they were doing all of those persecutions and all of that, people got scared. I wore my Trump hat everywhere I went, and I always got, like thumbs up, or I got I like your hat, and they'd whisper it to me or something like. No one wanted to go out and publicly support the president.
I think I want to send you up to Portland.
Okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. What else would you like to say to people that they don't know about KTOX that they might want to learn?
Well, we are a small station. It's in Needles, California. And the way things are now, you don't have to live in the area to listen to us.
Right.
It's KTOX Radio. So
look us up. Or look you up
on Rumble. That's another thing.
On Rumble with the Afternoon Drive-By.
Afternoon Drive-By on Rumble, which now you have streaming platforms, which is what Rumble is. And Rumble is kind of like me. I started out on YouTube.
Right.
And they threw me off.
Uh-huh.
And they told me, don't ever come back. They
Wow.
won't. They won't even let me have a channel anymore.
You're a muckraker.
This all happened during COVID.
Uh-huh.
Rumble, which is out of Canada, by the way. They'll let you say
whatever you want.
Basically, whatever you want.
Yeah.
They won't let you threaten people's lives or something like that. So you can hear me on Rumble. Go to rumble.com. The Afternoon Drive-By KTOX 1013. And you'll pick us up.
1013?
Yeah, that's the Rumble handle.
Oh, okay.
And it's Monday through Friday from 2 to 5 p.m. Pacific time. Check it out and hit the follow button. Follow us. That's what I say.
So you're a conservative.
Yeah. Well, like I said,
and
it's kind of hard to pinpoint me.
So you and I have had heated conversations about 9/11.
See, there you go. That's a perfect example of establishment
Conservatism.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's, basically establishment conservative thinks that was a bunch of guys in a cave, perpetrated 9/11. There's no discussion about
In other words, dreamed
anything.
up the idea
Yeah.
in a cave in Afghanistan somewhere and came over. Right, okay.
And these hijackers who, well, you know what? I don't want to get into it. But I don't want to get into it. But that's
it's okay.
one thing.
You can go right ahead.
And another,
people have to know what to expect when they get here.
And another one that I don't think we've ever talked about is Oklahoma City, which I have the same. I probably piss you off about that too. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you another way. Is there an incident or an event or whatever, is there anything like that has occurred that wasn't nefariously conducted by the U.S. government?
Well, I guess there's different degrees of that, but the big ones, like all the way back to JFK,
right,
RFK, MLK, 9/11, Oklahoma City, those are all, I think, the official government story is not right. It's definitely not right. Also with the Trump assassinations attempts.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, but is there anything that I think was actually what they portray it to be? No, I can't think of one. And that goes for COVID and the vaccine and all of it. So I basically don't trust the government. I think you could safely say that.
You think you could summarize your frame of mind by saying you just don't trust the government?
I don't. I do not. And it's not just our government. I think governments in general are inherently liars.
Yeah.
And they're out for themselves.
Yeah.
And for instance, politicians, how do they end up being worth millions of dollars after a couple of years? I don't trust them at all.
Well, then what do you do? I mean, you say, I remember during the election, you were getting really heated about some things that came up. I'm going, well, then why do you live here? Oh, that's
another thing.
Why do you live here?
Live, you mean in this country?
Yeah.
Where else are you? I'm not like these liberals, I'm going to move to Canada. I know this is the best place to live, even with all the problems.
Right.
I know that.
Okay.
And this is my home. I mean, the country. This is where I was born. If it gets bad enough here that I want to move, then we're screwed. There ain't going to be anywhere else to go. I mean, where else would you go if you didn't live here?
I'm trying to think.
At this point in time, there's basically nowhere. Maybe somewhere like Costa Rica or somewhere like that.
Well, there's so many considerations to bring to bear to think about a subject like that. I mean, I've been to Europe several times, and I love it over there.
Yeah, but now you wouldn't want to live.
I
wouldn't want to live there.
I haven't been to Germany since, I think, 2019.
Speaking of that, you've been hearing about their censorship of their citizens lately, right? They are literally arresting people for their speech.
Yeah. And in England too.
And in the United States, you have CBS. There's a show that used to be very respectable called 60 Minutes that just was cheering it on. They went over to Germany and did a piece over there and said, "Oh, this is great." You mean you can't, if you offend somebody, you can be arrested? Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, they
do.
They'd
like to have it here. I think if the election had gone the other way, I don't think Donald Trump's perfect, but sure is a hell of a lot better than what we would have had.
Correct.
It's very complicated politics, and you know that.
Yeah.
And it can drive you crazy.
Yeah.
So that's why I try to make it a little bit.
And put some fun into it.
Put some satire into it.
Satire and fun.
Yeah.
And one thing I've noticed that you have a tendency to grossly oversimplify.
Okay.
One of your favorite sayings is, "Oh, I'm a Republican, but I wish they'd fix it. I wish they'd, if it's a problem, then fix it."
Well, I think the thing with that is.
So let me ask you now. This recording was done the first part of March of 2025. And so, what do you think so far?
You mean for the Donald Trump?
Right, the Republicans in power, making corrections, and doing everything you've said you wanted to see.
He is doing some really. He did one thing he did immediately that I didn't think he was going to do was pardon all the January 6 people.
Right.
So he did that.
I agree with you on that.
He hired Elon Musk to root out all the waste and fraud in the government. That's a long time coming.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. I mean, I want to see things like getting rid of the IRS, the Federal Reserve. See, there's things that maybe some people don't agree with me on. And I can live without that with what we're doing now, what he's doing now. But it's early. You know, he's only been in there 7 weeks. So I'll give him, you know, after a year and see where we are. And
a year?
Yeah. I mean, you know, just
I
see
think
where
we
we
go
are.
6 months and see how
well,
we
yeah,
are.
you know, look at 6 months. But we don't want to be pulled into any wars, which right now they're trying to pull us into a war over Ukraine, and he's resisting that. But
well, that's not Trump's fault, though.
That's not Trump's fault. But we're a member of NATO.
Right.
And it's all for one for all, right?
Right.
And so...
Well, NATO may be disbanded completely. I mean, it's really kind of
it won't hurt my feelings.
It's the black and white TV of the military establishment.
Yeah, and I think I showed you yesterday how much money we put in compared to all the other countries.
Yeah, you did.
We get screwed over on all this. We put the most money in the UN to keep it going. You know what the Paris Accord was, right? This climate change fiasco.
Right.
That Biden put us in. We were on the hook for $1 trillion. And Trump took us out of it again.
So let me ask you, now this is not the radio, so this is the podcast,
Yeah.
so people may not have heard of this, but Trump was saying, if we sell credit cards, how many, was it 500? I don't know what the numbers are, but anyway.
5 million apiece?
He said you can come to the U.S. and you can buy a green credit card for, I think it was $5 million. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was $5 million. And they said, how many of those would we have to sell in order to get rid of the deficit? To get rid of the deficit.
Yeah.
And they said, well, we have to sell 500 of them.
500
times 5
or
million? 5,000. I don't know.
No, it was more than 500.
Whatever the number is, okay, they said we have to sell them and we would get rid of the deficit. Now, how brilliant is that?
Right. I mean, it is, but we're $38 trillion in the hole, so.
Well, I know, but they did the numbers. They did the addition and subtraction and said, well, you know, if we sell X number of these, we'll have the damn deficit corrected.
I would be for that.
Yeah. Why not? Canada has been paying the Chinese to come to their country for years and years and years.
Yeah.
So it's not a new concept.
I'm all for that. Hey, this has been fun, Phil.
Michael, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you doing this. I know we're up against the clock to get the radio show.
Yeah, we're going to do our show here.
So I got to plug all the microphones back to where they should be and all this stuff.
Yep.
So thanks again. And if anything changes with this wonderful place, then let me know. We'll come back and redo it.
I will. Thanks, Phil.
All right.